Alright, nobody wants to say it, so I'm gonna say it. The fetishization of gay men, especially, and lesbian women in these like creative or fandom spaces, it's getting like really out of hand, and it's really leading to the erasure of bisexual people and people on the A spectrum. And I'm going to be talking about a couple different shows while also like providing the evidence that this needs to stop as soon as possible before it starts getting out of hand or leading to things that are worse. I'm going to be discussing 3 different forms of media and or fandoms, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to be discussing the IdentityV Fandom, the Hazbin Hotel Fandom, and the Arcane Fandom and the issues within that. And maybe here and there mentioning other shows that are experiencing these issues that seem to be prevalent and continuing on. The first fandom I want to talk about or media is IDV. The IDV fandom is like very open when it comes to like queer people and queer ships in general, and that's not the issue. You know, you have ships like Geisha X Mary, Priestess X Enchantress, even Joseph X Aesop, Coordinator Perfumer, even poly ships such as Val, which is with the characters Painter, Gravekeeper, Prisoner, and Postman. Those ships are fine. However, there are confirmed straight couples in IDV, and certain people have become aggressive with promoting their gay ships under the straight people, like the straight couples posts as characters, and like it's just getting ridiculous, like in a sense. Like it's never that deep. And I'm not here to say that like lesbians don't get fetishized by straight men all the time, but just because lesbians are getting fetishized doesn't mean it's okay for people to do it in their way. And it seems like people in this community are doing it the other way. There's a, under the guise of representation when it's not, there's a canon couple that came out together, patient and psychologist, and people are trying to make patient gay and psychologist a lesbian under the guise of representation, even though they're a confirmed canon couple. Like they came out together with costumes and everything. It's just like, that's kind of ridiculous. There's no reason to like try to make that couple into LGBTQ members when they're like, when you have 20 other characters, hunters and survivors that are fine to ship together, whatever relationship you want. It's just getting ridiculous. Then I have evidence here that I will post of people being aggressive when the IDV account posts other heavily implied straight couples, people under the comments saying, no, this gay ship, it's always this gay ship. And there's nothing wrong with liking ships you want, whether they're gay or lesbian. But when you start aggressively promoting it and hating on others, you're causing an issue that's just not okay in any way. And it's leaning more towards fetish in a way, but we're gonna get into that.
How has he not noticed that I'm mad at him? We haven't talked in 20 minutes. What is he even thinking about?
I could take a bear in a fight. Not like a grizzly bear, but like a black bear. Jump on his back, put in a headlock, done.
How is he not?
Within the fandoms, and I'm only using IDV as an example, this could go for any other fandoms or any other games. It seems there's like a fetish of like gay men with a certain look to be able to like twinkify them and stuff like that. And it's very unsettling, the links that people are willing to go to within the fandom to have their ship represented, even though it's like it's leaning into fetish, like the way they fight for it and promote it, because it's only like, it's not lesbians doing this, it's mostly, I hate to say it, but like fetishizers, like, and I want to say that like gay men are real people, they do deserve representation, but so do bisexual people. It seems like within these fandoms, any mention of like a character, if they like guys and or girls, is shut down and hated. But hello, bisexual people exist, gay men and whatever their sexualities are, whether it be bi or gay or straight, they're real people. They're not toys for you to play fujoshi with, characters included. Like, if you want to ship the characters, it's fine, but treat others how you want to be treated. The way that the fandoms are going it's just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, it's out of hand, it's fetishy, and it's wrong. And this is just for the IDV fandom. I'm sure this could apply to other fandoms, but I'm just talking about to the fandom I've known and what I've seen. And again, I will provide evidence of, like, you know, examples of these situations happening. This is my personal nitpick when it comes to, like, fetishization within these fandoms. And even in, like, I would say outside of fandoms, comics and books in general, I will say not all lesbians are pale, white, and feminine. Not all gay men are pale, white, and feminine. Not all dark-skinned men have to be the masculine one or the top, per se, within media. Like, I see that a lot. And it's like, once again, it's giving fetish and it's not right. Gay, dark-skinned men, black men, Indian men, East Asian men, they can be masculine and gay. They don't always have to, you know, or they can be feminine and gay, whatever they want to be. But it seems like there's stereotypes that dark skin means you're mask, lighter skin means you're femme. And it's just like, in the LGBTQ community, I thought we'd do a little better with that, but I guess not so much. And I'm tired of seeing that stereotype. Enough is enough with that. You know, you can have the characters represent how you want, but, like, when you guys turn it into fetish, like mass fetish, like these, like, you say it's under the guise of representation, but, like, some of you act like these people don't exist in real life. Like, not every dark-skinned, gay, bi men wants to be in the mass position. Like, it's weird. It's weird. Stop it. Now we're getting into Arcane. Oh no, the league community is gonna come for me. I don't even know if they care. I have no idea. I know they care about the game. I don't know if they care about the show. So Arcane is my personal nitpick. The whole Mel and Jace ship situation, and then Jace x Victor. It is becoming increasingly obvious whenever there is a POC, not just black anymore, but a POC female interest, people will do anything to replace her. And I will show evidence of other people having the same thoughts, or even other shows and people talking about it. I'll show the evidence after this clip, but, like, bro, I'm not even editing this video yet. Like, I'm pretty sure I blocked this dude and Zendaya because of Palestine. But even this play right here, look at this fucking comment section. I am sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I'll go to hell. Anyway. Moving on, or, like, even, like, between clips or something. I don't know. I'll put the evidence there. But even then, we're going to talk about, even in the Jujutsu Kaisen, when the crack ships were happening, like Cinderella x Sakuna, I believe, and stuff like that. People were saying that Nanmi would rather choose Naveen than Tiana.
Hey, team. Why do we hate when black women are desired? Please answer honestly. This is a pattern I've seen over a long time that I want to talk about now because I just feel like it. I'm going to talk about two instances. One of them's fake, one of them's real, okay? Fake instance, you know the JJK x Disney crossovers? You know how the Nanami and Tiana one has been getting especially popular because people think it's really cute? You know how it's especially popular with, like, black people? Isn't it crazy how there just happens to be, like, a legion of non-black people talk about how it's unrealistic and how it would be better if the Nanami was Naveen instead? Almost like you'd prefer anyone but a black woman, right? Like the older example of that video on TikTok of the black girl between two white guys who were very obviously flirting with her, and how every comment was denying it and being like, no, they're probably interested in each other, not her, definitely. Why does seeing black women desired by people you deem attractive bring you so much discomfort? Why is that? Because I know exactly why. But if I told you why, you'd get mad at me.
Like, it's getting, like, this is just ridiculous, and it's gone on for too long, and I'm tired of it. Other POCs, y'all are doing it to other POCs, even in, like, live action shows, which I don't watch. But here's another piece of evidence. So these next two videos are muted because of the music copyright in them. But you can, like, look in the comment section. It's not just, like, black women being bullied. It's, like, Asian woman, just POC in general, brown woman, Latina woman, you know, stuff like that being bullied. And it's like an oncoming issue. There's another video of the lady explaining basically the perspective of the fetishization that goes on and the racism that goes on that's, like, becoming clearer and clearer, and it just needs to stop. Because, like, it's not, like, because it's not as sneaky as it looks. It's very much in your face, and the queer community just gotta stop with this. And like I said, I get the representation thing, but you don't have the right to take rep from other POC. You don't have the right to do that, especially with the way you guys are doing it. It's fetishy and it's wrong. This next person coming up explains it pretty well, I think.
More of my commentary on the phenomenon where, like, if there's a black woman lead in a show and then they're shipped with like the main white boy, people are like, no, they're besties. They have to be besties. They'll come up with anything, honestly. They'll be like, no, they have to be besties, or no, he's gay, or no, she's gay. And before y'all try to jump me and be like, oh, that doesn't even happen. It happens in real life. I observed it happen in real life. Paul Mescal said, I want to be in a rom-com, a romantic comedy with whatever. Why were people immediately being like, oh, and it should be, actually, they should both be queer and they should be helping each other find other people? What? How did you get there? How did you get to that conclusion when he said, I want to be in a romantic comedy with Io? Would your first thought not be, oh, she would be the main love interest? If he had gone on there and said, oh, I want to be in a romantic comedy with Jacob Elordi, I'd be like, okay, he wants to make a gay romance. Because if you said, I want to be in a romantic comedy with X person, is your first assumption not X person is the love interest? Like, you have to be insane. So it's wild to me that he said that, and then people were like, oh, and they're gonna be in love with anybody but each other. And I think people say it like that specifically because you have a little bit of plausible deniability, and they can be like, no, like, I just want a queer love story. Like, I'm not being racist. First of all, that plot for a queer love story would eat. Like, if they were friends and then they were trying to set each other up. But no one would have suggested that if he had said, oh, I want to be in a rom-com with Daisy Edgar Jones. Not a single person on the planet would have been like, and it's going to be only platonic, only at all. People do this particularly with dark-skinned black women, because when it's lighter-skinned black women, they're like, okay, whatever. But they do it particularly with dark-skinned black women, and when they're a main character, and especially if the main guy is white. And I say that specifically because I think most of the time, if it's like the other guy is black or even another race, people like tend to like push back less on it, because I think they just expect the other guy to be black, so they're like, okay, whatever. But the fangirls specifically, like, there's always a new white boy that they're like, oh my god, this is our fave new boy. And so when it's like a black girl that's paired with them, they get so angry and mad. And I think this occurs for multiple reasons. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna make a separate video outlining the reasons, but I need to state this real world example because there's no way people were coming on the internet to tell me that this doesn't happen. Yes, it does. Are you kidding me? That wasn't even a movie. He just said, oh, I would like her to be in a romantic comedy with her. But oh my god, and if they introduce another white man, oh, it's game over. They're like, yeah, the two white men together specifically. A lot of times, like, a black girl has been a main person in media. There's like the black best friend trope, the disposable black girlfriend trope. Like, it's always like, oh, this is not the one. So maybe that also influences people subconsciously. I don't know. And also, like, just a lack of gay representation in media in general. So, because like for a while, people just kind of had to make it for themselves because there were not gay characters, at least openly gay characters portrayed in like anything. So people had to kind of just like make do with what they got. And it's like, I understand that. But at the same time, it's always like they'll be like, oh, this character is gay specifically. Like, the man could be bisexual, by the way. And like, that would still make the current plot, like the actual plot of whatever media that is happening, still make sense because he can still be attracted to women. But people are always like, no, he is gay, like exclusively men only. And I also think that it's because a lot of white women would rather like a man be chosen over them, because it's like, oh, I wasn't even an option. Like, they don't even like women, rather than like, if it's a black woman that is chosen, like, I think in their brains, they're like, oh my God, they chose a black woman over white women. And that's like unfathomable. But it's okay if it's just men, because then they can't even like women. That's literally what I think goes on in some people's brains. I don't know. I'm gonna I'll make something clear about this, but I just had to speak the thoughts right now. But my point is, with a lot of these statements, there's underlying racism, and you're insane to think that there isn't. Because it's always said for like, in this scenario, it's always a dark-skinned girl and the main it boy, and y'all wanna be like, this is impossible. This is an impossible pairing. So y'all will think of literally anything else. Literally anything else. Oh, they're besties, they're best friends, when the show is giving nothing but romantic. The book is giving nothing but romantic. The extra reason that I know that it's racism and not just, oh, y'all want more queer representation, is because y'all will then pair up the man with the worst other man alive. It'll be the worst man alive, and they will hate each other. These two characters have not shown like an ounce of chemistry, an ounce of anything that even possibly makes sense. Y'all will pick the worst man on the planet to ship them with. It's insane.
Like, it's getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous, and enough is enough. And you'll see why I'm gonna say enough is enough a lot through this video, but when we get to the end, you'll understand why something has to give, or it's all gonna come crashing down one way or another.
Alright, we gotta talk about this whole Jace X Mel from Arcane, because this is still the Arcane folder, believe it or not, with everything I'm talking about, but it's leading up to this. So Jace X Mel, they're saying, like, even the people on Reddit, and I did put this in the middle because I'm like, it is Reddit, but even the people on Reddit are saying Jace X Mel wouldn't work because Mel is manipulative, and they're acting like Jace isn't manipulative himself when he is. They're saying the relationship is not interesting enough, giving XYZ of why it wouldn't work, but the kicker is they're trying to say that Mel would be better paired with Silico of all people. They're saying Mel shouldn't be shipped with Jace, she should be shipped with Silico. Just to make it interesting. Like, why couldn't Mel just be shipped with Jace? Why couldn't we have it that? What's the... Like, they're like, just to make it interesting, like, they just, like... The racism is so clear, because, like, why is it Silico of all people? It's not even, like, Victor. It's like, Jace and Victor should be together, and Mel should be shipped with Silico, because it's interesting. But, like, they have the stupidest reason of why Mel and Jace wouldn't work, because, oh no, Mel is a manipulator. Like, Jace isn't right there being a manipulator, too. And it's just, like... It's just in the face at this point, and, like, I can't support the queer community doing this, because it's, like, taking somebody else's representation, and then basically saying, oh, forget your representation, I want to be represented, so I'm gonna take away, you know, the few, like, okay, POC romance representation you have, because I want to be represented as a white queer. Like, and I'm not saying queers don't representation, but this is ridiculous! Are you serious? The fact they're like, no Jace X Mel, but Jace X Silico. I mean, not just, no Jace X Mel, but Mel X Silico. Like, are y'all serious? Are y'all, like, and I'm not supposed to take this as it's racism? Really? Really? This section originally was going to be so much longer, but I think the problem is obvious at this point. This, Reddit user, I didn't expect, like, the post to be deleted. Luckily, I had a screenshot. This is half of it. It's pretty much confirming everything that's been said, you know, like, oh, this character wouldn't work out, and at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, got cut off, there's, like, even in straight, you know, relationships, whether it's queer or straight, you know, the white character is referred to the POC, or they will ship the white character with anybody else besides the POC that is making, like, I mean, you saw in the Reddit post that I showed how it went down, and, like, I get it, it is Reddit, but I think the point still stands, and this is just a different angle. Like, even people on Reddit can see the problem, then, like, it's clear that it's a problem that the queer community has, and it needs to stop. But I think this problem has been talked about enough. I'm gonna move on to more problems within the queer community.
Misogyny is normalized in fandom spaces dominated by a queer audience. Suddenly, she was a threat to the main ship, one that was entirely non-canon. These two. Suddenly, she was the bad guy. The only bad guy. No, not him. He's ooh gay boy, it's fine. Now, it's new fandom, old problems. This is Ramshackle. It began as a thesis film published on YouTube, and now it's a full-fledged indie animated pilot. Congratulations, I was there since day one. But looky here, we have edgy queer-coded male character and golden retriever male character, leaving absolutely no love with the POC female character. If you think I'm reaching, just look at any fandom around you. All the male characters need do is show basic emotion and compassion and be potentially queer-coded, and they will run circles around their female counterparts in terms of popularity and love from the fandom. This is really disappointing. Again, these are fandoms dominated by a queer audience. Why do we obsess over cis white men, who are oftentimes only headcanon to be queer, and have no chance of becoming queer in the canon? Why do we sacrifice our female characters for the sake of a Fujoshi daydream?
I would like to say, like, I do get representation. Like, I get it. Queer people want to be represented, of course, but, like, queer POC exists. Queer Indian people exist. Queer East Asian, Southeast Asian people exist. Queer Middle Eastern people exist. You know, queer Black people exist. You don't get to just be like, I need representation, so you erase other people's representation for yourself. That's been done through history a lot by certain people, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna go ahead and get into the Hazbin Hotel, which is just a stupid controversy and makes me really disappointed in the LGBTQ plus community, or we'll call it a community, but I guess our actions are not really representing it. For Hazbin Hotel, let me get to the point, nice and simple. Alistair is ace. Alistair is confirmed ace. Why are we shipping him with people? This is especially disappointing for me, who is on the ace spectrum, but who is not ace but demisexual. It is like the hypocrisy that I'm seeing is crazy. because you guys are shipping Alistair with everybody under the sun, but the minute that somebody would ship Vaggie x Adam, all of a sudden you guys are keyboard warriors. Like, the hypocrisy has got to stop, because it makes the community look like a joke. It just makes the community like, what's the point? You can't scream and scream representation, and then turn around and act like ace people don't exist, the same way other fandoms act like bisexual people don't exist. Characters can be bi, characters can be ace, LGBTQ+, that's what it stands for. It's not just for people to fetishize lesbians and gay men. Do better. Be better. Like, this is so disappointing. As much as I support the community, and supporting the community, including trans people, we're going to get into another issue that even a white creator talked about that I've noticed. Before we get into the main issue, who wants to be targeted, or like, I guess the main issue that should be targeted and needs to be talked about more are the people doing this. So everywhere keeps saying certain people because nobody wants to say it for some reason. Everybody wants to allude to it. Before I say it, I will say that I understand queer baiting and things being implied and execs not letting it. Like, I will give honorable mentions to like Marco being trans, or even like Dipper being trans, the ship of Tomko, the ship of Keith X Lance. I'm not talking about those. Those are totally different from what I've mentioned before. If you can't see the difference through that and what I've mentioned before and those ships, then you're totally missing the point. And I don't know what to tell you. But moving on into like what nobody wants to say, I'll play the latest video, or maybe I've already played it, but what nobody wants to say, but it's getting out of hand. Here we go.
The reason why so many people find American white queers to be entirely insufferable is because typically we do not understand what solidarity looks like. Let's talk about Dylan Mulvaney. There is this large criticism from people who do not understand what solidarity looks like amongst oppressed people, the intersectionality of the oppressed, and it is that Dylan Mulvaney has her own fight. Dylan Mulvaney is working on trans rights. That is so fair and valid. Nobody said for her to stop doing that. If your platform is built largely on activism of any type, then you have to understand the intersectionality of the activism that you are doing. Trans people in Palestine exist. Do they not matter to you? Quickly, do they not matter to you? There are lots of people on this app that were focusing on a specific type of activism that have now switched lanes a little bit. They have included Palestinian liberation within their activism because we are not free until everybody is free. Our liberation is all connected with each other's liberation. All of us. And now we must mention class because it is one of the most important parts of this. It is why we keep ending up with influencers who will absolutely stay silent when working class people, their fans, their followers, the people who support them, beg them to speak out. They don't care about you. They don't have to care about you anymore because they got their brand deals. From all of your support, all of your help in rising their numbers to the top, they can now effectively abandon you. Because they have made their money, they got their check, they got their influence. We assisted them, and I'm not just talking about Dylan, I'm talking about large creators, again, that started with a true, it seems, compassionate desire for actually helping oppressed people, and then make enough money where it's very quickly seen by us that you don't care. You do not care. You care about a specific type of trans person. Dare it be a specific type of trans person that has some proximity to wealth, some proximity to whiteness even. So as people who can use our power to follow who we want, like what we want, favorite what we want, stop following influencers that are literally only here to make money. Everything else is secondary. If they did not speak out about Palestine in October, the activism has always been secondary to the primary goal, which is influence, fame, money.
The certain people that everybody is talking about, even white people themselves, not wanting, like, alluding to it and not saying anything, it's white queers. Is it all white queers? No.
Okay, really quickly, before I get into what I'm going to say into the end, I wanted to give an example of, like, a white queer who understands, like, community and solidarity. This is my friend Mushtoom, and they've been very open about like using their platform for Palestine. And I wanted to show like they like it can be done. It can be done, and I didn't want to like generalize all white. I didn't want to generalize all white queers, like saying there's no type of good, because much they like clearly, you know, they understood the assignment, you know, like they do care. I just feel like, you know, like the girl in the with the orange hair and the other video when she explained Dylan Mulvaney, like, so it's not just like an issue that I see as a person of color. Other white queers see it as well, but much to them, they're great at like, you know, this is just a good example. Like, they care, and you can tell they care. They use their platform for good, so it's possible. You know, good white queers exist. So I wanted to like, you know, give a shout out to them. Follow them if you want, but like, it like there's just no excuse for the behavior that I've been seeing in the queer community. Because if Mosh Toon can do it, then like, you know, anyone can care. You know.
Is it a majority? Yes, and it's getting out of hand. Nobody wants to say anything. Everybody wants to allude to it. I'm gonna say something. This is getting ridiculous. Dylan Mulvaney especially. I supported her. I did, but she hasn't said anything about Palestine. And people are like, I don't think it's okay to be a TERF. Like, I would never agree with being a TERF, but like, when you put me in a position where I defend you, and you can't say anything about things that matter, like other POC, it's bad. And there's like this stance that white queers have taken, where it's weird and fetishy. Like, every LGBT plus representation has to be a gay white twink or a white couple, and it's not the lesbians doing it. It's I don't even know if it's gay men or if it's straight women fetishizing gay men or whatever, but like, it's something's gotta give. Like, it's out of hand, it's out of control, and like, I'm just saying, like, it's gonna get to a point where you're going to be hated, and you can say, and people can look at this video and say, we don't care, you know. You can keep pushing people towards a cliff, because like, even me, like, when I heard that, found that after, like, I was defending her so hard, like, it hurt, like that pushes you towards hate. Like, all the stuff I've been through being black, and even the other stuff that I've said and experienced, like, it pushes you towards hate. And I'm not saying hate is the answer, but you guys' actions eventually gonna catch up with people. People can only take so much. Like, even if you push somebody off a cliff, what's stopping them from grabbing you on the way down? And I don't want the LGBTQ plus community to become that, but at the same time, y'all are saying one thing and doing another. You have to reach what you preach. It's getting ridiculous. And for the Palestine thing, if this video gets any views, I don't even know if anybody's gonna see this. I'm linking everything in the description for Palestine, for Congo, and for Sudan. I'd also like to mention the Uyghurs in China and stuff that's going on in Tigray. I don't understand the Tigray beef enough, but I will say something about it just to get eyes on it. But enough is enough. The white queers have to do better. Like, that really hurt me a lot. And it's like, I'm not the only one that feels that way. I can't be. If you guys don't start doing better, you're going to be hated, and I'm not going to be able to defend you, because I can't defend her. I can't defend Dylan Mulvaney anymore. 9.19 million and nothing about Palestine. What do y'all, like, no. Like, it's getting out of hand. This has to change, or like, eventually, you know, the white queers are going to be hated. Y'all are kind of already, apparently something happened in VTuber space, and they're already like, you know, I don't know what's going on over there. I just mentioned it, like, it's getting out of hand. For me, I can only talk about, like, being ace. The Alistair situation hurt me. Dylan Mulvaney situation, that hurt me. But, like, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand to the point where I can't, like, I want to be a united front, but, like, y'all are making it hard. The fetishization is coming out, and I'm somebody who, like, ghostwrites for Omegaverse, so you can't tell me I don't know what that shit looks like. Like, online and shit, like, y'all are bringing that shit into real life. Like, if that's what you like, leave it in your head. Don't like drag it down like every post, every comment. If that is if LGBTQ plus representation just becomes white people, what was the point in the first place? Like, I'm really sick and tired. I can't imagine how, like, you know, gay people of color are feeling when that's all they see. Even in art on TikTok, that's all I see. Or like, you know, the dark skin guy is masked for some reason. Like, guys, there's a representation. Alistair, I don't even care the Alistair black or not argument or whatever. He doesn't look black enough. Dude's built like Logic. Who cares? But like, the fact y'all took Alistair and ran to ship him with Lucifer when there's so many, when the, like, Husk Dusk is right there. Like, be so for real, and then turn around and come crying to me, talking about, we don't have any rep, we don't have any rent. I want to say let you sink at this point. Like, I can't, like, I'm trying my best. Like, I'm bringing it up because it's a problem, but like, yeah, a part of me is mad. Like, Because, like, how can I keep defending something that keeps digging itself in the hole? But, like, I wanted to bring it up because it needs to be talked. Somebody has to say it. Somebody had to say it before it got out of hand, so I guess I'll say it. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Hopefully, you know, things will get better. People will work it out. I did see people calling people out on TikTok, but I think, like, the other issues need to be addressed as well because they keep going, especially POC actors and the blatant racism against them, even if they're not even in the movies. You know, but I presented you with all the evidence. I'm not lying through my teeth or anything. I have all the evidence. You saw it, you watched it, so I don't know. All I can say is to, like, you know, it's not all white queers either. I'm not saying it's, like, the whole group, you know. I have friends that I follow that do good, that talk about Palestine and stuff like that, but, like, do better, be better, or eventually you'll be hated. I don't know what else to tell you.